What's up with it, fam? Thank you for tuning in to BYOB, where we believe the Bible is basic instruction before leaving Earth. And our job and purpose of having this Bible study with you is to bridge the gap between the believer and the Bible. Let's go. Yes, ma'am.
He is walking in his healing. Don't got his shades on.
Oh, man, it's like it's terrible.
I have to do something because for the past 2 Sundays, when he's in his sermon, he been like shading me a little bit. Like, he be coming for me. So this is the only time I get to get him back, y'all.
You got the mic.
Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, we are sorry we are late. We just got out of service. Y'all know BYOB is filmed immediately following our Sunday morning service. So if we're late,
charge it to our head.
Charge it to him.
Charge it to our
because
head
he's the last person with the mic during service.
Wow.
Guys, welcome back to another episode. Y'all know this year, I feel like every time I have to do like a recap. What did we do last year and what are we doing now? Last year, we focused on identifying, finding, understanding, and walking in our purpose and call. We realized and learned that we're called to be disciples, right? Our job is to be in relationship with God.
Yes, sir.
And through that relationship, we draw other people to him so they can have a relationship with him as well. With that being said, this year, we are going through the entire Bible because we want to know his word. We want to know the inspiration behind gathering these books together. We want to know why it was important for us to see this in print. Why was it important for us to know this particular thing? And another thing is I've learned this within the past, I'll say maybe 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard it before, but I've learned it within the last 5 years that returning his word to him is not like his word is not going to return to him void, right? But I got to know that word to send it back to him. I got to know that word and use it in my prayer language, in my prayer time, and in my prayer itself so that I can say, God, you said. Now he can prove because he wants us to test him and try him and see. And in doing that, he opens up the windows of heaven on our behalf and things begin to change and happen in our lives as a result of being in relationship with him, discipling others to do the same thing because we're going to reap what we sow in that. And being able to send that word back to him and say, God, this is what you said, and I believe it. I'm standing on it. Work this thing out for me. With that being said, this entire year, we're going through the word so that we know what it says and we understand it in the right context. I think a lot of the times we listen to the word, and sometimes, as you said today, sometimes people take it and use it with their own bias to get their message across and not what the Bible is actually telling us. So that is our hope and prayer, that we are taking God's word and just giving you what he's saying in his word. Yeah. What do we see in the word? How did we apply it to our lives? And how did it work for us? And somewhere within all of that, you find what you need so that you can stay in relationship with him, genuine, authentic relationship, and so that you can also disciple. All right. This week or today, we are in Leviticus and Numbers.
Talk about it. Take us
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. So you know what's coming. If you know what's coming next, drop it in the chat. All right.
Let's go.
All right. So Leviticus and Numbers. I can't really jump into it without going back to Genesis.
Go back.
Just because we want to see this entire storyline play out.
Walk the
How
ball.
do they all tie together?
Let's go.
So in Genesis, we learn about how humanity began, the creation, and the perfect relationship that man had with God until, you got it. Y'all got it. Sin crept in. When sin came in, the relationship was fractured.
Okay.
So God, even before the sin crept in, he knew it was coming. So he already had a redemptive plan in place. And from that moment, scripture becomes the story of God moving toward our redemption. So once sin crept in, from that moment, we've just been moving toward redemption. So God chose Abraham. We're moving on through, trying to get to where we are today. God chose Abraham, then Isaac, then Jacob, forming a people and a nation through a family line, through a particular family line. Genesis ends with Israel being in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they were preserved in Egypt, but they were not positioned.
Teach it up.
See, it's something on him today, and
Go to work.
we just don't bless the Lord for it. So Israel was preserved in Egypt.
Yeah.
You
Come
know
on.
how they were working as slaves and all that
You
stuff.
got your lesson.
But then, and he the spirit of distraction.
No, you got your
see
lesson.
this? Okay.
You got your
Israel was
lesson.
preserved in Egypt. However, they were not yet positioned because this is God's chosen people.
Yeah.
And he had promised them a land.
Uh-huh.
And they hadn't walked into there yet. So the story paused there. It's some tension between the promise and the fulfillment.
A little T in the text.
Yeah, some tension and
What?
stuff going on right here.
Talk to
Because as you're wandering in the wilderness looking for this promised land, y'all already know they was fussing, they was whining, they was complaining, they weren't faithful, they didn't know the God of their forefathers. So it was just a lot going on. So imagine not just the frustration of the people, because we just experienced some miracles.
Okay.
I mean, the Passover, the Red Sea, we have experienced some miracles, but why we just keep wondering why nothing else is happening right now? What's up, you know? So there's some frustration there on the people's part, and I'm sure God had to be frustrated with too. Like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my creation? I'm pretty sure, well, I ain't gonna say I'm pretty sure, but I would think he had some frustrations as well. So they're in Israel. So last week we walked through Exodus and saw something powerful, because God is not just a God who makes promises, but he also remembered his promise. So while we're coming through Exodus, it showed us God stepping in to history with power and compassion, because he delivered his people.
Yeah, took them out.
For those who did not know him and those who did not remember or could not remember, he showed himself strong. And I believe that he had compassion because their lack of knowledge, you know, being in ignorance sometimes. I think when you truly and authentically don't know, I think God kind of shows a little empathy, shows a little compassion, because you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So in this, God, he heard his people cry. He heard them. He felt them. He listened to them. God confronted Pharaoh on their behalf. Y'all know he used Moses. We talked about the Passover. We talked about the Red Sea. And we were able to see clearly the deliverance was more than just a physical deliverance. He delivered them physically out of the hand of Pharaoh, out of Egypt and all of that stuff. But he also was delivering them to a place to where, okay, I'm taking you from this bondage and I'm drawing you and bringing you closer to me, because we have to reestablish this relationship that was broken in the garden. We were able to see Jesus through this. I'm going to say shadow, right? So we're able to see Jesus through this because he comes and delivers us from sin, so that we can rebuild, reestablish, and restore our relationship with God as well.
Smaller picture of the big picture.
Smaller picture of the big picture.
How Jesus brought us out of darkness, which would be Egypt, into his marvelous light, which would be the promised land.
Brought me out of darkness into the marvelous light. Look
spirit.
where he brought me from.
You should have took us the other day. Why didn't you take us the other day?
Come on and bless the Lord for testimony service. Here we are today in the book of Leviticus.
I give my God who's in my life.
Here we are in Leviticus. And honestly, it's not a particular book that I have heard many sermons from. And I've really been in church all my life.
Hear a lot of sermons.
I'm not going to say I listened all my life. However, you kind of start remembering some of the books of the Bible, or at least the most popular ones that are oftentimes preached. And I never really hear anything about Leviticus or Numbers for that matter. But these are books that are traditionally considered to be authored by Moses. And he wrote the book of Leviticus for these Newly delivered Israelites.
Come on now. It's different.
People who knew about slavery.
Right.
Now, mind you, they in something. Some of them were born into it. This is all I have known my whole life, but they did not know about holiness. Mm-hmm. So our purpose in going through Leviticus, and even in your own personal study time, we have to learn how a sinful people, because they were sinful people, how a sinful people can live with the holy God, or how the holy God dwells where the sinful people are.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I'm saying it two different ways, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, the same process.
Me in my mess, with all of my drama, with everything I got going on in life, in my mind, because sometimes the things that we struggle with, they're not outwardly manifested, right? We may not be dealing with some of this stuff in a physical sense, but mentally, emotionally, we struggle so much with depression and, like you like to say, comparisonitis, where we're comparing ourselves to everybody else, and we just have ourselves in mental torment sometimes. Not to mention the devil is coming, because that's his playground, so he finna get in your head and play with you too. Now I'm struggling even more. Now it's causing such a bigger wedge between me and God. There is no relationship, because I'm not talking to him, because I'm just sitting here in this mess. How do I fix myself to, and I'm not saying fix yourself like deliver yourself, heal yourself. If we could, it'll be done. That ain't happening, right? But what I'm suggesting is, how do we learn to reverence God and respect and honor holiness, walk and live in holiness, because we're in our mess. And this is what Leviticus teaches us. It shows us how God dwells with a sinful people. With all their drama, all their mess, all the stuff that you are embarrassed about, don't want to talk about, never want to address. He loved them in spite of. So much. Y'all know they built the tabernacle, and he dwelt where they were. Come on now, tell me that's not a merciful, gracious, loving, kind God, that even in your mess, I'm gonna be in the mess with you. I'm not dirty, I'm not a part of it, but I'm gonna be right there with you. And when you invite me in for your deliverance, when you invite me in because you need peace and hope and to be comforted, then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna clean this mess up.
Transformation start with him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying today how real deliverance start with love. God is love.
Oh, he loves us so much.
Until somebody actually love you, they ain't still disciplining you. So we talked about too, you want to throw that away. But that's what he get into in Leviticus. You did a great job, amazing job going into it. I'm talking about, hey, you should have preached that today. You had it. You could have preached the whole time. But listen, the thing is, it's a very detailed thing, and it get boring. So once you come out of Genesis, Exodus, it started to get boring for like the next 3 chapters. But the reason why it's getting boring is because God is adding structure. He's adding order. He's introducing himself to a people that have been praying for him for 400 years. And now they actually able to walk with him. That's a different thing. Because now you're talking about manna and you feeding us daily. And then I got to trust the process. And Moses go to the mountaintop. I don't know if he dead. A mountain lion killed him. He come back weeks like, hey, bro, let's build something to worship. So they got all this rebuking, all of this learning. They have to dial for a new generation. But just let's talk about the generation that got to dial. You got to realize they've been hearing this for 400 years. So it's certain generation that went through cycles. They born in this. They saw they predecessor talking about this deliverance that never happened. They die in front of them. You get a taste of it. But I was living good in Egypt. It was bad, back-breaking work, but I was eating.
Yeah.
Now you telling me I got to wait. I'm used to getting my own. Then we trying to find. Then we fall in the cloud. This is weird. You know what I'm saying? The whole story. Then you add structure to me. You telling me about sacrifice. I'm not used to sacrifice like this. I got to learn a bit. And then who is Moses? I know Moses them that he ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? So you got all of that.
How we know Moses ain't trying to trick us, because what we do know is Moses came out of Pharaoh's house.
And then, man, you have all this silver, all this gold, but ain't nowhere to spend it. So then we just use it to make a golden calf, go worship. Why? Because that's routine, which shows you could pull people out of Egypt, but it's going to be difficult to pull Egypt out of them.
Yeah.
And we say all the time, you pull somebody out of the hood, but you can't get no hood out of them. It's the same principle saying, even though their environment changed, They haven't changed emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. They still haven't changed. They physically came out, but they still physically, mentally, emotionally still in.
Yeah.
And so it's taking those years. You're looking at they got to go through 40 years just to get Egypt out of them. And majority they had to die off. I mean, it never came out. They just got to die. And they give us a principle right there. Some stuff got to die.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing to say, and that's even with people in whole 9 years. They just ain't gonna get it. I remember when we started transitioning and talking to people, like you almost see the blank look on their face. They just don't receive it. It don't make sense to them. You think it makes sense. At least that's how I be feeling. I like, hey, that person, that's not meant for them. And the problem with most of us, we trying to make everybody get there. No.
Yeah.
And then God gave them a little teaser because he let them teach it. He get a chance, he go and show them. They get a chance, but I'm jumping into numbers a little bit. They get a chance to actually go see Numbers 13. He takes spies in there. Now it's different me hearing God gonna bless. But these boys come out with grapes and they coming out with the milk. They coming out with the honey. Is this real?
Yeah.
For real? This in there? This ours? You think I'm finna leave? Oh, no.
Personally,
because at that point, it been hard to believe, but I got evidence now.
Yeah.
My faith is 100.
I was
believe.
really just gonna go there because when you think about the past, now this is just me, and I'm talking now in the present with the knowledge that I know, right? I don't know how I would have been with them if I were there, but I would think with the knowledge that I have now of who Christ is and all the things, if I saw the Passover, and I saw the Red Sea part,
I'm lit.
My faith is 100. Forget I see the promised land. No. Moses said that there was a promised land. I ain't got to see nothing. I believe it because I just saw he lift up this thing and this ocean and open up.
But hey, just like us though, the years have passed. Like that's good. That miracle. I was on fire for 30 days. Come on. I'm even on 5-6 months. I'm holding on. But now you dropping manna. I want stuffed shrimp.
Like manna coming,
but
all the miracles that he performed, I would
I had manna yesterday. I need stuffed shrimp. I need something. You know what I'm saying? I want something.
I'm so glad I'm not God.
I need something classic.
You talking about like you was like, okay, I had manna yesterday. I want stuffed shrimp. I'm like, I smite thee. Now I'm sick of this.
Look, I can't get as much as I want. I can only get what I can eat. If I get more than what I'm supposed to have,
teaching not to overeat.
It's dry riding. Come on, man. I might want midnight snack. You limited, man. So everything that's going on is teaching them structure because this is what I think we miss. And I believe we do the same thing like children of Israel. We miss the part of becoming. You so caught up into the promised land. This is what I think most people don't realize. You're the promise, though. That's the promised land. You are the promise, though.
Yeah.
Because the promise is made to you because of who you are and how he value you. But you so caught up in trying to get somewhere, you don't realize it's what you are that you got to accept and walk in. Man, I'm the promises of God.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm able to walk in there. I create this. This is how I am made it. This is how he feel about me, that he created a place for me that's overflowing, mega honey. He created a place. He's showing himself an El Shaddai, God more than enough. He set aside. That's for me. That's why he gave me all this. That's why I was able to break free and he raised Red Sea. Once you start realizing that, now you're becoming who you want to be. And that's what the children of Israel never became. Because when that time came, they said they saw themselves as grasshopper amongst the giants. Nobody told them that. Ain't no giant say, hey, little grasshopper, get out of here. It's in your own mind, your own perception, which goes to show Israel was never becoming. They was never becoming the people of God. That's why they had to die off, because they never transitioned. They stayed in Egypt even though they escaped.
They didn't become because, like you said, the forefathers had died off.
Yeah.
They didn't know. Let me show y'all how gracious God is, how loving he is.
Miracles after miracles.
Because mind you, from the beginning, he knew, and there was a redemptive plan in place. But even with all of that, he knew we was going to be falling off. We weren't going to believe. We was going to be in outer gods and all kind of sins creeping in, right?
Yeah.
He thought enough of us that in Leviticus, he decides, this is what God does. He comes and he teaches his people how to live in his presence.
Yeah.
I'm going to come. I'm the creator of all things. I done delivered you out of Egypt. I done provided food for you. I have protected you. I have kept you.
Everything.
You don't know me, right? But I want you to get to know me. I want to teach you how to love me. Teach me how to love.
That's how
He's going to teach us how to love him, how to reverence him, how to be in his presence. This is what the book of Leviticus does, because again, the question that I posed was, how can a sinful people be where he's dwelling?
Yeah.
How can he dwell, or what? Honestly, why would he dwell where the sin is?
Yeah.
Like
Change your
you
life.
can just get rid of it altogether. But he's so gracious and so merciful and
Come on
so
now.
loving that he teaches us how to love him, how to honor and reverence him, live in holiness. But he also gives us the
Yeah.
choice to do it.
He making sense.
Gives us the choice to do it. Then, as we move into Numbers, he teaches his people how to trust him. So now I done showed you how to honor and reverence me and how to be in holiness, but now I got to teach you how to trust me on your journey.
Yeah.
Because I'm still wondering. I'm still kind of like in my mind, well, dang, this another year that went by, and we still haven't entered into the promised land. Even though we had some that went over there and came back with the grapes and the whatever, and they said, we have seen it. It is real.
See.
All of us still wander around. Like but we had to learn how to trust him in the journey.
Process, yeah.
This is something that even today in the 21st century,
it's hard to do.
Here are two things we need to learn how to do. I think as a generation and as a culture of people, we have gotten away from holiness because we think holiness is a look. Yeah. We feel and think that holiness is me wearing my skirts to my knees when they go up just as fast as pants go down. We think that holiness is the way that I talk. And, you know, when the music play or when the pastor say something, I just, hallelujah, and I shout. But those, you know, the antics of it, right? The performance behind it. Sometimes we think that performance is holiness, but that's not quite what God was looking for.
Yeah.
God didn't want your performance. He wanted, and we established this in the beginning. Yeah. He wants a relationship with you the whole time. And you talked about love today. When you are in a relationship with someone and you really love them, you honor and respect them. Yeah. And for me, that is how I define holiness. Like, living in a way that honor and respects who I say my daddy is, who I say my creator, my master, my king, my Lord is, because I love him just that much. I honor him just that much. I don't want to just give anything to him. I don't want to just do and say anything when I know he's looking. I know he's watching. I know he's listening. Yeah. I want to honor his presence. I want him to know, listen, I remember when. I wasn't there, but I read in your word about the redemptive plan you had for me. I see how even then, before my parents were thought of, you were thinking of us as a people, and you already had a plan to send your son to come and redeem. This is why I want to honor you, and I want to walk in holiness, because I'm putting respect on your name because of who you are. Not what you have done, what you will do, or what you're doing, but simply because of who you are and the grace, the love, and the mercy that you've extended to me.
That's good. That's part of like understanding that. And I think that's the reason why he let Moses pen that. And like I said, I love the Old Testament anyway, because they give you the tea. You start reading the New Testament, John, Peter, them, all them look flawless except for Paul. Paul tell you, I got thorn in my face. I asked to be moved, one, move, three. He get his business out there before they lie on me. Before they lie on me, I'm telling you, I had a problem that God told me grace is sufficient. You can respect Paul. Peter, the rest of them, all you know, he lied and cussed before Jesus. After Jesus come back and call him, he don't have no other flaw. I'm pretty sure he was still cussing and lying, but it's not recorded. Paul recorded the whole thing. You know, I stumbled and fell. Paul telling the whole thing. I doubted, I wrestled. You know, I'm a prisoner of Christ, as if he wanted to get away. So I love that, but I love the Old Testament. Old Testament give you a T for real. Moses killed somebody, God still used him. He doubted God.
There's definitely some tea in the text.
They still doubted. I showed myself strong. They still died. I let them get bit by snakes. Then I showed them I healed them. They still come back and die. Open up the earth because they didn't want to listen to Moses. Then Moses prayed. The earth came over. They had to pray, and then they scared to hear from him. But then they rebelled against Moses again. Man, have you opened the earth on me?
Listen.
The snakes would have got you. Hey, man. And then listen, he telling you to open your eyes and show you a snake on a stick.
No, I believe. I'm sorry. I believe. I trust you, Lord.
Like, come on, man. Then you know they upset because you got all that transition. Moses' in-laws talk about his wife So you see that Happy Black History Month, they got leprosy for even talking about the color of her skin, like God showing you. So they seeing all this stuff happen. Like, man, you can't talk about Moses, boy, Moses. Them people still challenge him leadership. Then he said, okay, fine. You want to talk? Let God come talk to you. God open up the ground. Like, stop playing me. That's the person I'm talking to. And notice this whole time, God, Moses is still using Aaron because it still show his insecurity. By now, working out in the mirror, I don't need, hey, man, God, you me. You know what I'm saying? You should,
we don't want nobody to get the big
but I'm
head.
saying you should be growing like, man, I'm the man. Then, you know, his father-in-law come in, tell him pour himself into 70 people. So you see how that transitions. So the whole time, Leviticus and Numbers, that's the reason why God care about numbers. You see that he talk about growth, who begot who, you get lost in there and want to go sleep. And then Leviticus, he putting structure to this. Meaning God saying, before you walk into this promise that I designed for you, I don't want you coming in with this chaos.
Yeah.
Let me get this nonsense out of you, this slave mentality, this mindset that you got is my fault no more, because you finna go where plenty there. And if he don't teach them, back to the manner, if he don't teach you to pace yourself, you'll be in there trying to collect all the milk and honey. I got to control you because you get over here, you don't know how to act. You know how you got to break people. Like, I can't expose you to this. You know, you got certain people, if I tell you, I can't take them over. They not ready.
They can't come over here. They can't do that.
Yeah, they even with their
They
hands.
finna tear everything up.
Understand the utensils. I done been there. Like, I don't know.
I think we have all said that before.
Like, hey, nah, that person, I done had spot somebody. Oh, no, I can't take that person with me because it's in their mind. They not there to go.
Embarrass me.
Man, no, I'm saying shame everybody. You gonna get me put out. And I think that's the transition this whole 40 years is to help them to become. And they never did. They fell off. And there's another generation. You got to realize they born in the wilderness. So I don't think they born into there's a promise. These people born into slavery. Those people die off. The new people that get ready to walk into the promised land, they born into the wilderness. And the only thing they've been told, we headed to a promise. Land. So I don't have slave mentality. I ain't never had it. When they came into the world, their parents still have the gold, the silver that they got from Egypt. So we own. We got wealth. We get fed every day. We fall in this cloud. They're born into a systematic system that underguard daily. So that's why you get Joshua, Caleb. You get them go, hey, I fight them by myself. Hey, where that come from? That fiery that he had, you got to realize I'm born with nothing. I'm wild. I'm born in the wilderness. We came in here to fight because you got to realize all this time they fighting different clans and they fighting different groups and different cultures. So they're going through this as they travel to get to where God got them going. And they winning. They doing all kind of victory laps on different stuff. God showing himself. You got to realize Joshua probably seen people get bit by a snake. He see them get healed. He's seeing these miracles. Now, they don't see the Red Sea, though. Remember, they don't see that. They don't see a part of the sea again until Joshua, he began to see the sea get parted. When Joshua take over, it's a reenactment of what Moses did. It's verifying that God is with Joshua. Now, we jumping way ahead, but I'm just saying that's the generation. Then he going to numbers because he letting you know it's important to count. To know where everybody came from, to know your history. We say this all the time. Quote says that if you don't know your past, you're destined to repeat it. So I feel like God was trying to teach them, know who you came from, know who is part of the Levitical law and priesthood as well for those people that's going to lead ministry. That's where we get the Levites and stuff like that. They start building. Those people are been in, and it said they living off ministry. That's how we give our tithe and offering. That's where the principle come. And it didn't get messed up because we miss it. The principles put in place. God was setting up structure that people that was hearing from God that's ministering. I don't want them to focus on nothing but the word to get it to my people. And they can't be distracted because they go build tents all day. I can't talk to them. I need them to be able to be in a place to hear me. So that's where 10% come in. He set up the structure. All this order is being set and we miss it because we get in our feelings. Why this got to happen? What this going on? He's showing you right here. In order for you to walk into your promise, you need people to be able to hear. It's a structure for them to be able to receive. But also, this is going to help you become. I'm putting all these things in place. I'm giving you order, instructions, numbers to let you know what house you come from, to know what's in your DNA, to know what you can activate. That's what we mess up. We're going to study our history. It's somebody that's your grandparent, your grandfather you find in here. I just found my great-grandfather was a minister, but I ain't know none of that. Church planner.
So it's in your blood.
Oh, man, come on. That whole renegade, starting something independent. Like, where is that coming from? Sometimes when you start tracing your DNA, trying to reach, you'll find it like, man, my great-grandmother, it's just that child that was in between was trifling and messed it up. So you thought everybody crazy. Well, everybody was crazy. Looking at somebody like in the 30s, suit and tie on, playing church and time. I said, that got to be crazy. You doing that when people spitting on you, Like you gotta. I think I'm a church planner. That's a church planner. You talking about God when the time? I don't want to hear that, man. Them people beating us and dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you probably making a nickel a week or something. That's crazy. And where you get the suit and tie from? I won't know. I'm trying to
listen. You on a squirrel?
Yeah,
friend.
I'm sorry. But I'm saying when you start studying it, that's when numbers come in. It telling you generations. It lets you know that God cares about each generation and that He cares about the numbers.
And He remembers and He's honoring His promise.
Yes.
That's one of the big takeaways that, like, even though I said it to Abraham, down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. Them songs be popping in my head. But down through the years, as each generation begins to die off and all of that stuff, God says they may not know, they may not remember, but I do, and I'm gonna honor that. That's a principle we can learn from. But you said something earlier about how we don't a lot of the times hear about Leviticus and Numbers because those are the quote unquote boring books. So I went on a hunt and I was like, what are we supposed to learn from these books? Because they felt that it was necessary enough to make it a part of the 66. They weren't writing about the history for no reason, right?
That's the reason. You gotta know.
So what I started seeing in there, it was a lot of sacrificing going on for different things. So then I started researching the different sacrifices. And then I was like, okay, how does that apply today? Because we're not going to an altar and slaying a baby lamb or goat or whatever. We're not doing that. It's like, that's just not happening. Like thinking about it is pretty gross. So I was like, what is the purpose of these sacrifices? They had different sacrifices for different reasons. Number one, you had they had the sacrifice for atonement. Then they had sacrifice for peace offerings. They just had different sacrifices for different reasons. So I said, how does that apply to us in the 21st century? What can I do, or how is this relevant to me? Because again, I'm not killing lamb, sheep, goats, and cows and stuff. Like, people
go to jail.
People, like it's animal cruelty. But beside that, it's just like nobody's doing that. So then, the more and more I thought, I said, okay, I may not be making a physical sacrifice where I have to slay an animal, but I should be sacrificing myself on a daily basis. The things that they did physically should be a spiritual manifestation for us. So if I can't go get a cow and cut him up and pray and do whatever they was doing, then maybe I'm supposed to be killing my flesh. Maybe I'm supposed to be submitting my will.
It's part of you being
asking for forgiveness.
Romans 12, present your body.
Honoring Him. A living sacrifice. Holy.
Acceptable unto God.
So now we way in Romans.
Your reasonable service.
We way over there in Romans, but that's really what it is.
You become that.
It becomes a spiritual manifestation of it because as the times progress and move on, so does the laws, and so do customs and things of that sort. And you can't go and just like, come on, y'all, we just not doing that.
And I'm gonna tell you something I always look at too, so you understand. And it's just another interpretation of what you say. I think is excellent about you saying we should become the living sacrifice. That's what Paul tells us in Romans. But then at the same time, let's deal with the culture. The culture this time, agricultural society. So they're living off grain, animals. You're talking about almost a month's salary for that lamb. Especially he want the perfect lamb. You don't want no spot, no blemish in. So that was top of line lamb, probably like 2-3 months worth of salary to get that lamb. Then you talking about a goat or what they cut. The goat was needed for the yard or for them to move or whatever they had. So they bring in the best of their crop because that's was how they eat. So it'll be the same thing with us. I say this all the time. So I have to reiterate so I can bring it to our offer. Time represents sacrifice. Sacrifice represents blood. What is money? Money is your time. You only get it because you put in 40 hours a week. So when I take that 10% and I'm giving it, it's just like I'm putting a lamb up there. I didn't give you a week worth of, you know what I'm saying? That's different in their culture because they're not moving monetary. That's just, you got to get your mind away from America. We put that to the gold standard. That's 1970. That's a whole nother history letter. And we came up with our own currency. Money is not real. It's just paper that we print. We print it anytime we want to do quantitative easing, but I ain't got time to go there. But it's the same thing because that's what we work for. I could spend 60 hours at work, give me overtime. That's my life, 12-hour shift, 16-hour shift. That's blood. So when I come up here and get this offer, I wish you could just see blood in your hand because you're giving 40 hours of your blood up at the altar. It'll be the same thing as a lamb. I just try to help people make that equivalent because we'd be like, well, we ain't doing lambs, goat. That's because they didn't have money. They traded with their goods and service. Like you had a lamb.
That's really good.
I came with a barley wheat. Then this person, she made bread good, or that person got oil so we can make this. So once you understand that, you process it different. Still the same system. We're just exchanging it for our currency at the time. Our currency is money and corn.
Okay, that's really good. That's gonna help somebody who struggle.
Yeah, with your giving. Like you understand that you don't want to get no blood. Hey, ain't no sacrifice in what you're doing. Blood.
I think when something is taught to you from a different perspective that you can identify with and that makes sense to you, it's easier to actively participate in that thing.
True.
So for me, there have been times like, okay, I ain't got it, and that's it. Yeah. I'm not trying to hear nothing they saying. You ain't gonna try to convince me, convict me, make me feel no type of way. Because my mind is already made up. And what you saying, honestly, and not to be disrespectful, it didn't mean nothing to me what you were saying, because number one, you haven't taught me on the principle of it, or I didn't understand what you were saying. You probably was teaching and I just didn't know what you were saying. And as a teacher, we learn that there are different learning styles. There are different learning types. So you have to teach it probably multiple times in different ways for a person to get it. So that may help some of the leaders out there as you're ministering to your people. We know it's tax season and it's going to be plenty of sermons about first fruit and giving and sacrifice. Well, I'm trying to help somebody.
Oh my goodness, man! Don't do it.
It's gonna be plenty of sermons about it, but take the time to teach them the principle of giving and the sacrifice.
Yeah, more than the 10%. Talk about the name.
Talk about that. Show them that you're trying to help them grow.
And then now and then, I'm gonna say this too, just to help with what you said. I think a little bit. I can concur and understand why you say that, but you wouldn't go to your favorite restaurant and be like, "Hey, man, I'm at Orlando's. I know I ate 6 stuffed shrimp, but I ain't got it."
Now I'm gonna tell you, I understand the concept of giving.
Hold on, I'm finna go there. Oh, I ain't got it. Or let you teach all week long. Be like, "Hey, man, you did an extra job. We appreciate student learning. Hey, we ain't got it."
Because you come.
No, I'm just saying. But you gotta realize. I told somebody, man, I wish they could put a price tag on church so people could just see. What do it take for them doors to be open? Temperature be set when you get a seats and stuff clean. No trash. Toilet paper in there. You got feminine items for women and stuff. I ain't even got to the service part. The carpet and stuff clean, atmosphere right, TVs and cameras going, lights and all that stuff going, big old stupid screen behind us right here. So that's enough by itself, just the atmosphere. If a person was selling popcorn or something like that, you got to move it. Then you go into this prayer. Somebody really praying. Intimate, you able to lay out stuff about your husband, the situation you got going on. They're praying already, atmosphere set for you. Rolling there, good praise and worship. Good singing. You pay Beyonce money. You'll pay R. Kelly if he was out. You'll be paying him money to go to his shows too. You going to all the tours, bars and men. Everybody saying you never go there empty-handed, but you get all this saying, "Oh, that's my favorite son. They sung my son today." Boom, you get that. Then you get in worship. Then if you got a decent preacher, just say he's decent. I ain't even saying he no top of the line, top 10. He just solid. He giving you the word. He ain't up here giving you no fooger booger stuff, making up stuff. Let's go even deeper than that. You got to preach the transition and work the altar, because not all preachers do that. Some preachers go to their seat and just praise the Lord, amen.
Wow, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Come on, man. But then you have somebody say, "Hey, the Lord told me you need to make a transition with your job." How did you know that? That ain't, come on, man. What's the tag on that? Like, I don't think you can put a monetary tag on it. And I'm just saying that hopefully we help somebody, because you're talking about offering, because I want people to change their perspective. That's why I tell them ain't no pressure here. You only struggle with the giving the 10% because you don't know how to handle your 90. Because your 90 is trash, because child support, bad decision, you ain't budgeting your money, you in debt, you living above your means. It's hard to give 10. But see, if you got it, 10 ain't nothing. Yeah, I met people, they giving 20, 30, because why? They trying to avoid taxes. I just talked to the dude. He was like, man, he didn't max out his charity. He making so much money. He trying to find somewhere to put it. That's when 10% don't mean nothing to you, because you making money. You hate tax season. That's what you ought to be trying to get you as a believer. That's what you ought to be telling. Y'all shouldn't be happy about taxes. You should be mad. Like, a real person that making money, you paying 30% of your taxes. If you ain't paying 30% of your taxes, you're not making no real money. And so then once you get to that, okay, home ownership moving, I don't mind moving 100,000, giving like our brother talk about, not gonna say his church and stuff like that. But our brother told us that last month of December, they only opened the doors to receive money because they dealing with people that got money. That 90% is money. You know what I'm saying? They own properties. They don't just have a house, they own the whole
sounds quite
whole
passionate.
complex. But I'm saying that because of the
I
money.
understand.
And then I want to combat the stuff like Drusy did. That's good. There's some pastors out there that are abusing people. And you got the new jacket on Gucci, and he said he's stepping in red bottom because he's stepping in blood. That's funny. I thought it was funny too, but I still think it's wrong for believers.
Mhm.
They rolled out on that. That's the reason why I don't get in church now. Oh, you crazy? All people didn't bury your mama, and they don't talk to you, pastor. You counting that. You got a trifling pastor that ain't doing it. That's on you. I'm just talking about mind spin. I wouldn't dare think about this. Superintendent Pieces, I came underneath. My dad, Bishop Mason, I came underneath. I had a chance to experience Apostle Cornell and Hampton. I got a chance to put Bishop Caldwell. The old people, men, Bishop Larry and Brandon. Man, no way. I done seen what they done did. I done seen them pay for people groceries and help people. So my dad in turn pay for people life, pay for the car, and then you leave and go to another church. That made me want to go get the car. Because it's just a mindset. People abuse this, and I'm just saying this because there's really no outlet for me to talk about it. They really need a podcast just for preachers. I know Mike Moore them got it, but it need to go in detail. Man, preachers and leaders in church be getting abused. Yep. Remember the dude we bought in Shreveport. Remember we bought the dude furniture for the house? That dude disappeared.
Very, very.
And he knows the grace of God. Cause I go knocking up, man, get our couch back, bro. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, God work on me. I ain't all the way together. I would not, hey man, all this stuff we bought, we ain't seen you. What? Come on, man. Pray for me.
Spirits are real.
Pray for me. It's on me, baby. It's on me.
Before we close out.
What?
Yeah, because we started late again because of him.
Let's go. Because of me, pray for me. Yeah. We're doing a little adjustment with service.
We're trying to see a storyline here.
Talk to us.
So
come on,
let's kind of tie it together so that we can end with knowing the purpose of Leviticus.
Talk about it.
In Numbers. So again, in Genesis, we talked about or learned about, read about, or just saw in a different way the creation, the fall, that's when sin creeps in. Mm-hmm. But then God makes a promise, right? And there's a redemptive plan already in place. Then we get into Exodus. The people are in captivity. They're being preserved, right? But they still haven't made it to their promised land. So God brings them out. As he brings them out, we're entering into Leviticus, where he teaches us. He comes and dwells among his people, sin and all, in a mess and all, and he teaches us how to live holy. You can go back and you can look up some of the different sacrifices they made. They talked about priesthood and all of that stuff in Leviticus. That's something you can do on your own study time. Mm-hmm. But like it's really, a little history lesson there if you like history. Then we go into Numbers, where we go through the journey of them being in the wilderness. And I'm like, okay, I can see myself in the beginning, because before I got here, he had a plan for me. And maybe I'm selfish. But when you put yourself in the situation, right, you can see a little bit more clearly. You have a different kind of respect and understanding for it. So that's what I did. So I saw that he had a plan for me, knowing I was going to be a hot mess. I was going to have my moments. I wasn't going to be faithful. I was going to be in and out. Wasn't going to be hot. Wasn't going to be cold. And y'all know he don't like lukewarm, but you still love me. Even though I wasn't all the way together. I struggled mentally. It was some people I wanted to fight. It was some people I didn't like. Some people I didn't want to help. But you still love me. Okay, got the redemptive plan. Then when I felt like my back was against the wall, mind you, I'm still in my mess. My back was against the wall. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm crying every day like them children in Israel was crying, delivered from Pharaoh and all that stuff. I'm crying every day, like in the closet. And you still... He made a way out of nowhere. Yeah. He opened the door. He opened the window. He touched somebody's heart. Like, he worked it out to deliver me from that mess. Comparing myself to these books that I'm reading so far, right? Because if you don't see yourself in it, you'll never appreciate what it's saying. So I've been taking these biblical stories and putting myself into it so I can appreciate what was done for me. Because even though I wasn't there, he was thinking about me.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but it was all for me though. See how you kind of got to be selfish? We know it was for us. We know it was for humanity, but I'm a part of that. And he did that for me. Yeah. I have a whole nother appreciation, level of respect, honor, and reverence for the man. Okay. Well, I mean, for God. My mother-in-law started coming out a little bit sometimes.
Come on now.
Now I know how I'm supposed to live in his presence and walk in holiness and honor him in everything I say and do. Everything I do may not be honorable, but
working on
I am a work in progress.
Yes,
and even in my mess, I got sense enough to be like, Lord, I'm sorry. Yeah. Fix me from the inside out. Like I got sense enough to even when I'm in my mess, listen, I honor you so much and I want to be holy. So I'm asking for forgiveness, all the things, because I want to get back in right standing with you because I honor you just that much. So we get into Numbers and I'm learning that when I have my wilderness moments, because we're going to have wilderness moments and seasons where we feel like we just lost, we confused, and then we're going to walk in unbelief sometimes because it happens. Because when you get a word and that thing don't happen like that, a month go by, 2 months go by, a year go by, your faith story, you be like, what's the man of God on? What's the woman of God on? Like, did God say it? You start questioning that thing, right? Truth, and I love when you say that time has to catch up with truth. Yeah. But that's, again, one of those principles that has to be taught to a person versus I got to wait till I'm 40, 50 years old to learn that lesson. And I know learned lessons are the best lessons. However, think about, or experience are the best lessons, but think about if I would have learned at an early age that sometimes time has to catch up with truth before this word is manifested in your life, or before you see the manifestation of a word that was given to you, then it would have saved me a lot of being weary, a lot of back and forth, a lot of unbelief. I didn't know how to navigate through my wilderness season. And I don't want you guys to not know how to navigate through your wilderness season. It's your season. I can't specifically say, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is how you do it. But what I can tell you is there's a blueprint. If you go back and look at the children of Israel and how they went through their wilderness season and how their unbelief and their lack of trust led to punishments and these, that, and all these things, you'll see their story and you can see how it applies to you here in the 21st century. So I want to encourage you, go back, read Leviticus if you don't know how to live holy. Now, I know you can't make a real life lamb, baby Jesus, sheep, goat sacrifice, right? But we've talked about how your time, your spirit, yourself, you are going to be the living sacrifice. Go back and read Leviticus and put yourself in that situation so you have a better understanding. Go back and read Numbers so you can know how to navigate through the wilderness seasons that you're probably going to experience. Now, if you haven't experienced them, you will. And if you have experienced them, now you can go back and say, well, I could have did this, or I could have did that. So now your perspective begins to change because when something else comes up, I'm gonna move differently now because
different experience.
I'm in a different space, a different place. There's a different grace on me. I'm gonna move a little bit different because I want to show God, listen, I done been down that road where I done went through my wilderness season and I struggled in my faith. But I'm standing on your word because you said it wasn't gonna return to your void. I'm standing on your word because if you did it for them, you can do it for me. If you did it before, he can do it again. Same God right now. Same God back then. You're not gonna say with me.
You said
because it was like the perfect song in the perfect moment. Stop it.
Nobody hating on you.
All right, guys. We are going to stop here for today because we are definitely out of time, but we are not out of conversation. I want to encourage you, go back. And I know he said they was the boring books. He shouldn't have used them words. But go back, read Leviticus, read Numbers, and put yourself in that situation to see how it applies to you. What can you change about yourself so that you can honor him in another way? Right? Good. Thank you for tuning in with us. We want to say we appreciate you. We thank you for your prayers, your seeds, everything that you do to make sure that we can be sitting in your living room, in your car, wherever you are doing BYOB. Your seeds help us to fund the vision. Your seeds help us on our field trip Sundays. Every fifth Sunday, We are
That's
out in
right.
the community. We are drawing people closer to Christ, not by asking them to come to church, but by showing them the love of God and showing them that there's somebody who loves
Come
them,
on now.
right? So we still need your help in doing these things. You can give by way of Cash App. That is ICAN 365, Impact Community Action Network, 365 days out of the year. You can also give by way of Givelify. If you go to Givelify, you can look up Impact Church DFW. You'll find a picture of myself and my husband. You'll also see our church logo. You can give that way as well. Thank you again for every seed, every prayer, and the participation that we've been getting. Guys, like the video, share the video, but most of all, live the principles that we're sharing in these videos. Thank y'all. Until next time.
Grace and peace.